What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's currently May 31st, 2026, so that means it's week 10 of 10 here, and the school year really is kind of winding down. I wanted to make a dorm fire protection and life safety tour just because, I don't know, I've lived here for a year and I thought that'd be kind of cool, but I also thought it'd be kind of interesting to make this vlog style once again, just because in the next couple of weeks I'll be moving out and going back home, and it's always kind of cool to film different things, but let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, it is week 10. It's currently Sunday of week 10 technically, but I actually do have a final tomorrow. Usually most finals are during actual finals week, but this time I do have one on Monday of week 10, which is kind of strange, but I guess it spreads things out a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, it's about 2:30 right now. Just did some last minute studying and the exam's at 8, so hopefully this thing goes well. Fingers crossed. What's going on, guys? It's 7:30 in the morning and I'm heading down to my final 8 a.m. of the quarter. Alright guys, I just finished that final and it was horrible. I've never seen anything like that before. It looked nothing like the practice, but it happens, so on to other things. All right, guys, this right here is Hedrick Summit at UCLA. This is where I lived my first year of college. As the name might suggest, Hedrick Summit is at the top of the hill. All of the residential buildings at UCLA are on a complex known as the Hill. And like I said, this one's at the top, so it's a little bit of a farther walk. But honestly, it's pretty cool living at the top of the hill. So let's go inside and take a look. As you can see, this is a high-rise building. Specifically, it has 9 floors. And since we're at the top of the hill, if you look out the window of the top lounge, you can actually see downtown LA. If we take a look inside of the building, you can see we have a simplex fire alarm system. I'm not sure what the fire alarm control unit is. I believe it's a 4100U because this building was built in 2004, I believe, so that would make sense. We have this large graphic annunciator. I think this is a LA city requirement, which makes some sense. You can see we have a map of the building and LEDs will light up depending on where the alarm is activated. And we have a standard annunciator as well as a pole station. Here in the main lobby, we have one of the only wall-mounted horn strobes in the entire building. I'm not entirely sure why they specified this one here, but either way, it does exist. Continuing towards the elevators, as you can see, we have a set of fire doors. This separates the elevator lobby from the rest of the building, which is a requirement in California. And you can see we have smoke detectors on either side of the door to activate those doors. And then also, interestingly enough, we have some interesting exit sign architecture. That was a mouthful. For whatever reason, they've decided to recess the exit signs like 2 or 3 inches into the ceiling. I guess it doesn't really matter because it allows the exit sign to still be visible. I think they maybe just didn't want these to stick so far out of the ceiling, but I guess that is some extra drywall work. And here's the fire alarm control panel room. Again, I don't have access, but I'm guessing it's a 4100U. Most of the exit signs in this building are these Dual-Light Sempra series vandal-resistant exit signs. These are cast aluminum exit signs, and they come in master remote combos. So this exit sign that's mounted at the ceiling is what's wired into the mains power, and it supplies power to this small little remote exit sign that's at the bottom. This sign does not have a transformer or anything in it. It's literally just an LED board with an exit sign stencil, and it runs exclusively off this, Now in some cases, cheap exit signs have been used to replace the master sign, but they didn't replace the one at the bottom. So of course the one at the bottom is not going to be able to work since the master sign that was supplying it has been replaced. Most of the horn strobes in this building are these addressable white ceiling mount devices. These are the slightly older variant because they have the simplex logo as well as the True Alert logo on the side. But you can tell these are addressable because when they sound like a True Alert ES. Then of course we have a smoke detector for elevator recall. By the elevator lobby, a lot of the pole stations have actually been damaged. If you take a look at the bottom, this one's actually coming off the wall. So it's about 1 hit away from causing a false alarm. But either way, let's go upstairs. Alright guys, here on the 5th floor where I live, as you can see, we have a pretty similar setup. Once again, all the pole stations by the elevator lobby have been damaged. This one, as you can see, is missing a corner of it. I'm not sure if you can tell, but that means that this side is not even connected to the base plate. And that also means that this one is 1 good hit away from causing a false alarm because these devices are fail-safe. Basically, they're holding back a button. And if the cover comes off, it'll just let go of the button and cause a false alarm. Also, something to note is that on this floor, if you remember down on the first floor, we had a set of doors here that separated the elevator lobby, as well as another set of doors on that side. Here we don't have any doors. We actually have a different form of fire separation. So these are actually smoke guards. They're recessed into the area above the elevator. And effectively, what happens is that should the elevator lobby smoke detector activate, these will both drop down, and they're effectively just curtains that magnetically attach to the rails of this elevator and stop smoke from entering the elevator shaft. Since this building was built in 2003, it actually has a pretty high degree of fire protection. This is an R1 occupancy, so it's a residential structure, and it has pretty strict fire protection standards. As you can see, we have some passive fire protection here. All of the stairwell doors are these steel 2-hour rated fire doors, which means that this will hold back smoke and fire for 2 hours. And that doesn't allow smoke to spread between floors. Of course, like I said, we have these master remote exit signs. They appear to be nearing the end of their life because they are getting dim. Pole stations at every door, not a whole lot to say about that. Addressable smoke detection, addressable notification. This building is also fully sprinklered. You really can't get around that. Sprinklers are the most effective fire protection system by far. Something interesting to note though is that in terms of fire extinguishers, we could potentially be a little lacking. So for context, these extinguisher cabinets are designed to be safety locks. So what that means is that there's a plastic cam on the lock instead of a traditional metal cam. And the idea there is that it's tamper evident. So if you were to pull it in an emergency, the plastic lock would just break off and you could access the extinguisher. Unfortunately, the first time they pulled it, I guess the lock just broke and they couldn't buy new plastic locks. So they replaced each of the plastic pieces with metal washers. Now you can probably imagine where this is going. We have a special guest here. This right here is my suite mate, and he's gonna demonstrate, all right, you don't gotta do all that, but he's gonna, pretend that there's a fire and try and open the cabinet. All right, have at it. So that's not good, as you can see. The idea here is it's supposed to open in an emergency, and this is not opening. I know how to open it because I know ball. You gotta like bend it like that, and you can see here the whole frame has to flex. I mean, this is not appropriate at all. If we look inside of the cabinet, it gets worse. This right here is a Buckeye 10-pound ABC extinguisher, but it's technically non-compliant because the instruction label is facing the wrong way. It's supposed to be, the gauge should be facing this way. It's facing this way. And the reason why that's a problem is because it indicates that they used the wrong O-ring or put the wrong head on this extinguisher. So although this unit might technically still discharge, that's a problem. But anyways, let's continue down the hallway. As you can see, here's an example of a proper exit sign replacement. They actually replaced one of these dual light Sempras with another dual light Sempra, as well as the associated remote. Then if we continue down the hallway, something else to note that's really good about this building is the level of passive fire protection that's built into the HVAC system. As you can see behind there's actually a fire/smoke damper. So should the smoke detector in front of, what is he doing down there? Okay, anyways, the smoke detectors in the hallway, if they activate in front of one of these air registers, the damper inside of there will close. The reason for that is, of course, because the air ventilation system connects all of the different rooms in the hallway. So of course, because there's fire barriers from the hallway to the rooms, if these things are just a nice path into the hallways, into the rooms, then it kind of ruins the effect of that. So I'm gonna enter the trash chute, and the reason I'm gonna do that is just to show you what a fire and smoke damper looks like. So as you can see, here's the fire damper. My camera will focus, and then back here we have the mechanism that actuates it. And this one's probably controlled by that smoke detector. Hello and welcome to HS 552A. This is our beautiful suite on the 5th floor here. Something that you might not know is that our door lock is actually broken. We're only exposing this because by the time you see this, I'll have moved out and hopefully they fix this by then. But let's go ahead and take a look inside. You can see this right here is a very messy room. What on earth is this guy watching? Is that a fire alarm due 5967 video?
Wait, what? You look just like this guy.
Oh my Whoa.
Wait.
Anyways,
what?
So as you can see inside of our room, we have these very nice LEDs. The primary fire protection inside pretty much all of the guest rooms, or not guest rooms, residences, are these sounder-based smoke alarms or smoke detectors. So these are just addressable smoke detector heads mounted on a sounder base. They serve as notification appliances as well as the local notification. So if there's smoke inside of this room, this will just act like a local single station smoke alarm. It's gonna go off only in this room, and then it'll reset itself once there's no more smoke. But also, when there's a general fire alarm in the building, then this alarm will sound as a mini horn. So that allows this to be a little bit more false alarm preventative, because of course if somebody microwaves food or something, you know, because each room has a microwave, then that alarm will only sound locally and it won't wake the building unless an adjacent one goes off or smoke enters the hallway that way. I don't know what these guys are doing. But as you can see, we have an evacuation map here. Once again, you can see we're located about right here. They're actually missing a fire extinguisher on the map. Not that it really matters, but yeah, there we have it. Now the primary fire suppression in this room is these sprinkler heads. So we have one sidewall here, and then if we go around the corner, we have yet another sidewall head. As you can see, we have a sign that says a little head can save a life. I mean, everybody needs a little head. So again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but this covers that side, that one covers that side. So this right here is my desk. As you can see, pretty standard desk. We have all of this stuff here. Got to rep the best sports and the best city in the world over here. We got this hand because, you know, it's UCLA, Patriots, a horrible picture I drew the first week, picture of Fenway Park, you know, all that good stuff. And then all the things. We have a desk strobe down here, which is pretty strange. We go over here. Again, this is the sleeping area. As you can see here in this university, most of the dorms are triples. So somebody sleeps up there. Somebody sleeps up there, and then this is my bed. You can see we got these cheap dollar store lights, some random crap posted on the wall, and these silly little curtains here. Shoot, did I miss anything?
No.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this suite?
I think it's a pretty amazingly spacious suite.
Yeah. I live here every day, so.
Wow.
Living here with you guys has been truly amazing.
Yeah, he's our third.
Who is that? Yeah, that is not our roommate. Anyways, if you look out the window, there are basketball courts there. We've won many HBA champions. That's Hitch Basketball Association championships. And then sometimes you can see a nice sunset out the window. But are we going to miss Hedrick Summit, or are we going to hope to live somewhere else?
We're going to hope to live somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's a pretty long walk. All right, thanks, guys. At the base of each stairwell, we have these system sensor PA400R mini horns. These are not tied into the fire alarm system. They're simply local door alarms. So should one of these exit doors at the bottom of the stairwell be opened, this will sound for just the time that the door's open. And these things go off like all day long. Literally every like 30 seconds, someone opens a door. Because it's pretty convenient to just go straight outside instead of walking all the way around to the lobby. So I'll quickly demonstrate what this alarm sounds like, but just for a second. There you have it. They go off like incessantly. So if we finally continue to the end of the hallway, as you can see, we have our directional exit signs that tell you the exit stairway is that way. Then of course, we've got one of these exit signs that's been replaced by one of these cheap generics. By the way, this is a battery backup exit sign, which is not necessary because this building is on an emergency generator. But the problem is, once again, that was the master sign that was running a remote. So let's go all the way down here. Oh my goodness, paint me green and call me a pickle. So now this sign here is receiving 0 power. This thing is completely dead, and it's about as good as a pound of sand because, of course, that generic exit sign is not designed or capable to run a remote like that. So if you replace both, or if you replace one, you got to replace both. Unfortunately, they did not here. So this right here is one of the single pods in this building. As the name probably suggests, all of the dorms here are singles, so no bunk beds or anything. The way these are set up is kind of strange though. So first we have this big open common room, which if I zoom out, you see we have these ESFR sprinklers, which is really strange. I'm not sure why they have these huge warehouse style sprinklers in this small residential space with hardly any combustible materials in it. So that's a little strange. Of course, we have a standard smoke detector and then a remote strobe. And then if we continue into the actual room areas, first of all, you can see we have this beautiful passive fire protection. We have a fire door that's held by a magnet. This will release upon fire alarm activation. There's no horn strobes in this entire hallway. Pretty much all the smoke detectors in the hallways are these sounder-based smokes, which are kind of interesting. If we continue, once again, yet another one. Now, if you look out the window, you can actually see the generator room. It's hard to see because my lighting is bad, but there's also a Wheelock MT horn strobe out there somewhere. So although most of the suites inside of this building have their own bathroom, there's also this all-gender bathroom in the hallway. And what's inside of here may indicate a slightly different degree of fire protection than what's currently the modern standard. So as you can see, we have a fire sprinkler head. This is pretty standard. This one is slightly loaded. It's a little dirty and corroded, so potentially it should be replaced. We also have a heat detector, and this is what's different because now in modern construction, generally the standard is that if there's a sprinkler head installed, you don't really need a heat detector because they do effectively the same thing. This sprinkler head is going to activate at the same temperature that heat detector will. I mean, this one technically detects a rapid change in temperature, but a sprinkler head does almost the same thing. It also sets off the fire alarm and it suppresses the fire. So technically these are a little redundant, but it's always good to have more. And then we have a strobe light right here. The way this building is configured is pretty simple. We have this one short stretch of hallway that's intersected by this longer hallway, which goes down to what people call the tip. If you're not sure why people call it the tip, then go ahead and take a look at that graphic enunciator and see what this building is shaped like, and you'll know. But either way, heading down the hallway, you can see we have these exit signs every so often. Code requires that every specific distance down a very long hallway, you have to have exit signs. So these are just double-sided exit signs that tell people that there's an exit if you go that way. Unfortunately, there's no floor level exit signs except for at the end of the hallways, which I think should change because this is a very long stretch of hallway that could be very smoky very fast. But the reason why these exit signs are recessed inside of those little boxes is because, as you can see, the ceiling comes down low from time to time, but I think they want to keep the height of all of the obstructions at a consistent height. So mounting the exit signs within this little recession allows them to be at the same height as those little things. And I guess it prevents, when people are moving in mattresses and things of that nature, the exit signs from getting damaged. But yeah, there you have it. If we go into this lounge, as you can see, we have a sidewall sprinkler head that's completely obstructed by this excessively large light fixture. The entire objective of these sprinklers is that they cover a very large area, but for that to happen, they have to be completely clear from the front, and this one is not. If you turn out the lights and look out the lounge window, on a clear day, you can get a view of downtown Los Angeles. As you can see there in the distance, we have some buildings. That's not quite the main skyline. It's a little further back and blocked by this conveniently placed tree, but it's still pretty beautiful. Check this out. This is a little bit of a strange situation. So these two master exit signs were not replaced, but the remote was replaced with an off-brand remote. This is a remote to a different style of master exit sign, but it still works. As you can see, this unit is lit. Technically, it's not UL listed for this application, but realistically, it kind of doesn't matter because of the fact that this exit sign is really just a 4.8 volt LED panel. At each floor inside of the stairwell is the main fire sprinkler system shut off. As you can see, we have this one main line that goes all the way down to the first floor, and at each floor it branches off to supply the fire sprinklers on that floor. You can see here we have a flow switch that monitors the fire sprinklers on this floor. So should one of them activate and water start flowing, this will cause the fire alarm to trip. But as you can see, it just goes up and into the floor. Then we have some other stuff. This is where you'd shut off the fire sprinkler system if you had to do maintenance or something like that. And since we're at the top of the building, it doesn't go higher. But if we look up, we have a really interesting piece of passive fire protection. So this is what appears to be a smoke pressurization fan. So you can see we have this absolutely massive fire damper right here. And right now it's supposed to be closed. But during a fire emergency, if this system is triggered by smoke or something like that, then a huge fan on the roof is going to start. This damper will open and it's going to pressurize the stairwell and create a positive pressure inside of the stairwell. Because stairwells have a tendency to become chimneys during a fire emergency, pressurizing the inside of the stairwell will stop smoke from entering the stairway and allow occupants to exit the building. Throughout the building, a few of these stairwell fire doors are propped open. This particular one's actually held by the flow switch, which is pretty bad. This can cause some damage. But back in the earlier parts of this quarter, I tried to stop people from doing this by putting these stickers on the doors. And I guess for some of these doors, the sticker might have been too low, but either way, it seems people don't really care that much. And because these buildings are designed to be incredibly redundant, having one or two fire doors propped open shouldn't be a huge deal, especially like I explained, because that stairwell pressurization fan exists, we have sprinklers and all that good stuff. All right, guys, this right here is a lounge. There's 2 of these on each floor. You can see we have our nice fire-rated glass and a fire-rated door. Inside, we have all of our friends here from the floor. I don't know what he's doing over there. But either way, you can see here we have a interesting situation in terms of fire alarm coverage. So clearly there was a 4x4 box installed in the ceiling. So I think the planners had a horn strobe planned, but then they decided to cover that up and then put a strobe here. I'm not particularly a fan of that because this is a lounge, right? So we have couches and stuff. Drunk people sleep here all the time, and having a visible only notification appliance is probably not a great thing. I think there should be a horn strobe. Of course, we do have smoke detection. This is a standard smoke detector throughout the entire building. And then of course you can see, because we have this little extrusion from the ceiling, there's actually 5 sprinkler heads in this one room. So there's a sidewall pendant, pendant over there, but it's a little bit excessive. It seems a little excessive, but of course you do need that to cover this wider area over here. And then once again, pretty much the only difference between this and any other room is just the fact that we have a strobe as opposed to a horn strobe. Guys, it's Friday, June 5th, and we're walking to our last classes as first years. How you feeling? That concludes the final day of instruction, the last of 150. I also did just get a haircut, so is what it is, but now it's officially time for finals. Right now it's about 2 a.m. on June 7th, so the date is actually 6/7, but that means it's officially finals week. So my next final is at 11 in the morning. I'm gonna try and get up early and do some last minute studying and get some breakfast, but let's hope it goes well. All right, guys, we just got out of the physics the physics 1B final, and long story short, it's over, but at least the class is done, so that's that. We gotta move on to bigger and better things now, right? We out here taking some LinkedIn headshots, as you can see. Currently heading downstairs to do laundry for the last time this year. About to start packing this place up, but before we do that, let's take one final look around while everything's still here. It's quite messy, but it's a cozy little dorm. I am gonna miss this place a little bit. Up, guys, we're currently walking to our last undie run as first years. Yeah! All right, guys, so check this out. I'm doing some final studying here. You can see this flashcard I'm allowed to take into the exam. And then these guys walk in with the biggest tortas I've ever seen. How do you feel about the end of the first year here?
I liked it a lot, bro. I liked him like my torta, bro. Big and fat.
Yes, Ash just loves tortas, right?
I do love tortas.
He sure does.
Hard to believe it, but it's my last night sleeping here. All right, guys, today's the day. I have one more final. Everyone's moving out, as you can see, and I'm almost free. All right, guys, I just finished my last final of the year. That was terrible, But at least it's over, so I can go home now. But I still have like 7 hours to just be free. So we did it. It is a surreal feeling, but we did it.
It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it!
My roommates have basically moved out the room now, as you can see. So we'll see you guys next year. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there we have it. We're all moved out, as you can see. Nothing's left. All the cabinets are empty. There's like a little bit of a ring in the room now because of how empty it is, which is kind of strange. But lots of memories in this room. I can't believe my first year is over. It really goes by just like that. But man, what a time, what a time. Push. Anyways, it's time to leave. Cleared security at LAX in like 20 minutes, so now I have like 2 hours to burn before my flight. Man, it does feel nice being free from academic work, and it's going to stay that way for like 3 months or something like that, even though the finals didn't go as I intended. The really important thing is that you just try, right? Because the most you can do in life is just do your best, and not everything's easy, but otherwise, basically free. Made it to Boston. As you can see, it's about 8 a.m. here, so 5 a.m. in LA. I got some sleep on the plane though, so we're good to go. I forgot just how humid summers on the East Coast are. In California, it's pretty much just dry heat, but here, I'm sweating just standing here. Haven't seen these fire alarm beacons in months. Check this out. The Logan Express in Framingham has Alexa devices now, and this is also a simplex system. Nice thing about coming home is I can check out the recycling center. You can see all these smoke alarms that have been thrown away while I was gone. And here we are back home. You can see greeting us is all of the various crap I ordered while I wasn't here. You can see we have a couple of these beacons, some European sounder strobes, smoke detectors, toll stations, you name it, sounders, all the different things. See, we even have some emergency lighting products, but at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video since we've made it home. This summer should be a pretty interesting one though. I'm actually working at a fire protection company, which is really exciting. I've always wanted to do that. I'm gonna be in a unique position, so I'll be rotating between a field technician job and a like an office intern. So I'll kind of see the design and installation of the systems, which is really unique to me. I'll try and make some videos if I can, although it's possible that I might not be able to just because in the workplace, it depends on if they allow that. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.